Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about something without which it is impossible to master a language, without which it is impossible to progress, to move from one level to the other. And this is something called language awareness. As you know, as you've probably heard, it's cool to be aware of your thoughts, your feelings, like to live an aware life. And awareness starts with noticing. The same goes to language. In order to be able to incorporate interesting vocabulary, interesting grammar, you first have to learn to notice it. I am pretty sure that many of you consume English content on quite a regular basis. So you listen to English songs, or you might watch shows in English, you watch videos like short videos on YouTube, Instagram, and you consume all other kinds of content. And you should continue doing so, but consuming on its own is not gonna lead you to incorporating the good language that you might encounter in those materials. And in order for this material to become good input for you, you have to learn to be aware, and you have to learn to notice interesting things about the language in different texts you read. And today I want to show you an example of this. So I've taken an Instagram post from the Stylist magazine. This is a magazine I follow. I like the topics they bring up. There is an issue with the subscription. I didn't manage, even though I really wanted to pay them, to give them my money, to be able to read the full articles, but it didn't happen. So, yet I'm here and enjoying the interesting headlines and um, posts that go underneath. So, yeah, I'm going to use this post today to show you how you can how you can train this awareness and what actually you should be aware of. So the post is called, "Has the summer to autumn transition left you feeling anxious?" And here is how to navigate it. I think it is pretty relevant because now that I'm filming this video, it's October the 1st, and we're actually in transition between summer and autumn. And it really can indeed leave us feeling anxious. By the way, notice that I'm using the same structure as is used in the question. So the question says, has this transition left you feeling anxious? You probably know the phrase make me, it made me, or it makes me feel anxious. But this one is a different one, is a bit more idiomatic, a bit less common, and a bit more advanced because of that. And it is left you feeling anxious. So what you can notice here is you can notice that you can express your feelings in this way. Like when you can say, it left me feeling anxious, it left me feeling sad, it left me feeling whatever, yes? So put any kind of feeling instead of anxious there. What you should also notice is that unlike make me feel, where we use feel in infinitive, yeah, it made me feel. Here, we actually use ing form, it left me feeling. So you have to notice these things. This is called microgrammar. And unlike macrogrammar, like, like tenses, like conditionals or other structures that you will see in any book, microgrammar, it's hard to categorize it sometimes. And that's why it's harder to teach. So it's harder to present it in a book, for example, or as a separate topic. That's why you should just be aware of it here and there. You should just notice it here and there. And you should just like collect it, and yeah, so make your own collection kind of. Let's look at the post itself and let's see what what we can notice about it here. And I'm gonna ask you to stop the video to read the text. And also as you read, please be aware of please notice what you notice. So which language are you drawn to? Are you attracted to? Yeah, so notice that, and then we will talk about it. Okay, so hope you stopped the video and read the text. Now let's walk through this text. I don't know what you noticed, but what often happens is that people tend to first notice the words that they don't know, maybe some sophisticated words, long words, difficult words, and I'm not sure, but yeah, as a wild guess, I would say you might have been attracted to the word asking, maybe, yeah, and maybe to the word gusts, maybe to the word pouring, right? And maybe, I'm not sure, sideways, maybe. Yeah, let's see if there's something else, maybe unsettling, I don't know. So it depends on your level, of course. But yeah, so you could have been attracted to words that you don't know, and it's okay. And let's work with these words a little bit. And they are kind of, yeah, these words are pretty useful because they are key words to talk about this topic. So let's look at the word basking. So first of all, if you look to the left, you will see we're basking, and this will give you this will let you understand that basking is an action, yeah, so you can do it, yeah, you can bask, and we are basking. What if you look to the right now, what word is it connected to? You will probably see that it is connected to this in 25-degree sun. So if we choose the noun that this verb is connected to, I would say it is connected to the word sun. We can be basking in the sun. And it can be a 25-degree sun, or it can be any other sun. Well, for example, instead of 25-degree, we could say hot, maybe. We could say warm, or any other word that can describe sun. I don't know, maybe radioactive sun, and so on. Yeah, so that means that this phrase is so it's kind of like this semi-flexible. So one part of it is like a fixed, yes, you bask in the sun, but the inside part is kind of flexible. You can input there is a variety of words you can input there. Let's look at the word pouring, and you would probably notice that the word pouring is used to describe the word rain. So that already kind of helps you. Even if you don't know the word pouring, you might understand, like, rain, right? And you know what kinds of, like how we can describe rain. So we can describe rain as pouring rain. So when you notice the word rain, it gives you a hint about what pouring means. By the way, the same as when you notice sun, it gives you a hint about what basking it might be, yeah, because it's an action and you do it in the sun. What do people do in the sun? Well, they kind of sunbathe, right? So they sit in the sun and sunbathe. If we look at the word gusts, if you look to the right, you will see that the word gust is connected to wind. So gusts of wind, and again, it already gives you an idea of what gusts might be. And if you look to the left, you can see that we can describe gusts as strong gusts of wind. So if you want to learn the word gust, never just write this, like gust, and then the translation or something like this. But you should rather write strong gusts of wind. And by the way, through this phrase, you can kind of understand what the word gust is. Maybe you don't know the specific word in Ukrainian. It's okay, but you can like more or less, yeah, like you can approximately understand what gust means. And then what you can do actually is you can open a dictionary and look up this word and see if you guessed. This is the best. This is much better than opening the dictionary before you you did this mental work. Okay. So what else we have here? We have sideways, and the trees bending sideways. So you can probably understand that this is something about trees, and what they do. They bending sideways. Okay, so you can bend sideways if you know the word bend. Yeah, bend is like so when the wind blows, when there are strong gusts of wind, trees can bend, and they can bend sideways, meaning in one, like on one side. Right. So these are the red words, yes, and you already see that when you see a new word, please, what you shouldn't do is just write a word and try to figure out, just, check the dictionary for its meaning, because it really, first of all, depends on the context, and it depends on the phrase in which it occurs. So for you, the most important thing is to figure out which phrase it belongs to. So red words are good. Then how about we take a different category, and it will be the words that maybe are not super new for you, or maybe like they are half new. So like they're in this gray area. Maybe when you see them, you recognize them, but you don't, but you either are not sure about them, or maybe you just don't use them. So let's use gray color to highlight them, to symbolize this gray area. And actually the words from your gray area, they say that they are the best words to activate, because you already kind of half know them. If you try a little bit harder, you will activate them faster than the word gusts. Yeah, because gust is completely new for you, and in order for you to learn it, you have to first like see it again and again and again a couple of times, and only after that you might be able to like incorporate it into your own speaking. So from the gray words, I would maybe highlight the word roller coaster. I think that you might have seen it. And yeah, so in case this word is red for you, it's also fine. A roller coaster is a kind of, like when you go to this attractions park and there are scary rides. So this is the ride goes up and down. So basically but here we're not talking about the real thing, yes? It's used as a metaphor. So let's read the sentence. This year's summer to autumn transition has felt like a bit of roller coaster. Yeah. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the transition, yes, the change. And what did this transition do? It felt like a roller coaster. So together with the roller coaster, we need to highlight this phrase, felt like. And maybe we can even say felt a bit of a bit of roller coaster. So like a bit of roller coaster, not like a real, like not like completely messy, but quite unstable. Yes, so this transition was quite unstable. And again, this is already a very, very good phrase. Actually, this is a sentence, and you can use it to speak about just the weather. You can think about what else I can describe like this. So here they're talking about the transition between summer and autumn, but what else can have this, like metaphorical, yeah, ups and downs? Well, life can have this, yes, or your day can have this. So instead of this year summer to autumn transition, by the way, it's a long subject here, you can just put a short subject. My life has felt like a bit of a roller coaster recently, or today has felt like a bit of a roller coaster. Yeah, and then you see your sentence is ready. Unlike if you just wrote down the word roller coaster and wrote that this is what Attraction, je sais, I doubt you'd be able to. Okay, so these words from the gray area are quite important also. Right. And one other category that is overlooked, so people don't pay enough attention to it, is actually the green category. And the green category is these are phrases that consist of words that you know very well, but actually don't use them, and they are like deceptively simple, but actually they might form some idiomatic phrases or maybe just some very common patterns. Let me show you an example here, because we're talking about a transition, about a change. Here is a good kind of syntax like pattern. Here's a sentence. One moment we are blah blah blah, and the next we're blah blah blah. Again, this is a pattern. You can use it not only talk about this weather and about the situation. You can use it to talk about other things that involve changes. So you can say, one moment I am getting ready to go on a trip, on a skiing trip, and the next a war starts in my country. Yeah, so a sudden change. You are describing the change. Again, this can look deceptively simple because, well, all very simple words, one moment and the next. Yeah, so like very simple words, but I haven't heard too many people speaking like that, even though this is a very, very common pattern. Yeah. Let's have a look at the next paragraph, maybe. I don't know, and let's highlight things that can be fun. So for those people who hate hot weather or simply love autumn, this sudden change has no doubt come as a welcome surprise. Okay. Also, the topic is transitions, changes. So I think this phrase here, sudden change, is pretty good. Again, you know the word change, you know the word suddenly, but I don't think you use sudden a lot. So I'd put it in the gray area. Sudden change. And also look at this sentence. This sudden change has no doubt come as a welcome surprise. There is a very good phrase here. And I would highlight it as red because, or I don't even know what category to put it in. Okay, let me highlight it in some color and then we decide. So we are talking about a change, and this change has come as a surprise. If something comes as a surprise, it means it comes unexpectedly. It comes suddenly. So if you want, so this is actually a very good phrase. It consists of very simple words, come as a surprise, but nobody uses it. Like I don't hear students using it. So that's why it's called idiomatic phrase, because not many people use it, because it consists of simple words, but actually it forms kind of a new meaning. So as a surprise. So you can say this this war came as a surprise. This present came as a surprise. Yeah, so basically this is the same as saying I was very surprised when this happened, but saying I was very surprised, this is level elementary, and saying it came as a surprise, this is level advanced. There is a big difference. Yeah, you can maybe later you can notice like variations of this phrase. For example, there is this famous like quote. I don't remember who said it and where it is from, but abuse of power comes surprise. Maybe it's about, so yeah, basically it's about people who come to power and then they start abusing their power. And this is absolutely not surprising, yeah, especially like in our country, for example. So abuse of power comes as no surprise. So it's a little change. Instead of comes as a surprise, comes as no surprise, which means this is absolutely not surprising. Yes, this had to be expected. And again, like when somebody tells you, "Oh, have you seen what happened?" Blah blah blah, and you're like, "Well, this comes as no surprise." And you sound very cool instead of like saying, "Oh, I'm not surprised," right? Uh, so this phrase might actually go unnoticed. Might actually go unnoticed because it consists of very simple words. Actually, let me. Uh, yeah, I would actually highlight it even. Sorry, I don't know why my eraser doesn't work, but I would maybe even highlight it in green because it consists of very simple words. However, it's idiomatic phrase. Uh, all right. What else you should pay attention to is, for example, this specific post is about transitions. So here is the word transition. Please pay attention to the preposition that goes before it. Yeah, we say have this transition between the seasons. Transition between the seasons. Because you might understand the word transition, like because it's a simple word and it's similar to how it's spelled in Ukrainian, but you might not notice the preposition, or you might use a different preposition or struggle with using the correct preposition. Okay, so this is how you should work with a text. And of course, first it might be not so simple to do it on your own. So you need a teacher to help you, to show you which phrases are worth highlighting and which phrases are. But what I can tell you is like this text consists of like this common phrases, like very commonly used phrases. If you like, I'm sure that if you read other texts, you will see these words exactly in these combinations. Like a sudden change, you will see it. Gusts of wind, you will see it. Pouring rain, you will see it. Yeah, a bit of roller coaster, you will definitely see it. Because people are not even that creative, yeah. So we speak in kind of cliches, and this is fine. But the way we combine those cliches can be creative. Uh, so, yeah, so as I said, you first need to notice and maybe need someone to guide you to help you understand what you need to notice. But then with time, you should be able to do it on your own better and better. And the second thing you need to do after you have noticed is you need to activate these words. So by activate, like how you can activate it is the first and the most simple thing to retell the text. You can do it in writing or you can do it in speaking. For example, you can record record an audio of yourself speaking. So what I would do is I would write out the phrases that I have highlighted for myself, and then I would cover the text itself and not look at the text and just look at the phrases and try and retell the text. I'm not going to write out these phrases now. I will rely on my memory. But yeah, I have a little bit here. So let's see. Let me retell it for you. So this text was about transition from summer to autumn, and that this change can be quite sudden for some people and can come as a surprise to them. And that's why that might leave them feeling anxious, leave some people feeling anxious, because it is not easy to deal with such a sudden change. One moment you are sunbathing on the beach. If you live by the sea, you are swimming. Maybe you are wearing a t-shirt, and the next you are at home, freezing, the heating doesn't work, and yeah, you are covered in layers of clothes. So yeah, it's very important to take care of yourself during time, blah, 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 blah. So as you can see, I have kind of retold the text, but I used some of the phrases exactly as they were used in the text. Like maybe 50% of the phrases, 50% of what I said came directly from the text. And then the other 50, I used my own words, my own ideas, but like relevant ideas. Yeah, so I added some examples of my own, like swimming in the sea. It wasn't in the text, but it's relevant. And this is the best way to do it. When you retell a text, you should not, retell it like you should not stick exactly to the wording from the text. You should not memorize it. It's not about memorizing. It's about kind of using these phrases as some kind of support, but improvising the other 50 or the other 40%. And this is the best, yeah, because if you just improvise, that means you might not be using good phrases. You might be using the phrases that you create, and what you create yourself is not always correct, unfortunately. But that's true. So you should be copying, you should be using an example text. But at the same time, if you only memorize and try to stick to the text, then you're not playing with the language, you're not constructing your own sentences. So what you need is you need a combination. So, a little homework for you is to find another post on Instagram. Not short. You can go to the Stylist magazine or whatever. And yeah, first you try and notice vocabulary. Don't worry if you make a mistake, if you choose something, don't worry about choosing the phrases. It's going to be better than not paying attention at all, not noticing it. And after you do this, you cover the text, you look at the phrases, and retell the text in writing or speaking. Okay, that's it for today. Talk soon.